Hello, and welcome. My name is Given Illustrative, and you're hanging out with me right here on the I Am Youth Movement YouTube channel. And this is, of course, Millennial Pillars. And that means we're going to be discussing what it means to be a millennial living in this era of that is so vastly changing and changing so at such a quick pace. Now, today I want us to discuss something that is quite dear to me. How do your friends affect your journey of self-discovery? Those that are closest to you. How are you able to have close friends and still not allow those friends to actually hinder you from being you and discovering yourself? Now, I'm going to share a bit of a story, right, of mine and how I came to becoming the person I am today. And I'm hoping that this will help you, will give you an idea of how you yourself can actually find and discover yourself even though you have friends that are very close to you. Because here's why this is a very important conversation for us to have. When you have friends that you care about, you don't want to hurt them. So as a result, you have a tendency to not pursue the things that you're really into. Right? So you do everything that they do because you don't want to hurt them. And that's something that we struggle with living in the millennial era, because we actually have to measure up to the standards of other people. And I know this is not something that's exclusive to millennials, but it is something that we struggle with. So for me, for example, I grew up loving rap. I loved rap, I love hip hop, and I love poetry, and it's something that I love to this day. As a result, I was surrounded by people who loved the very same thing. I wrote with them, I hung out with them, I had poetry sessions with them, I had meaningful conversations with them. I basically did life with them. But now I had to also understand the fact that they had values that were not mine, right? Not just because you love something, it doesn't mean that everyone who loves that thing with you or shares the love for whatever it is you love. So whether it be sports, right? You might love rugby, or you might love tennis, or you might love paintball, and therefore you'll hang out with people who love paintball, right? And cycling. But now, what if those people have values that contradict your values? Right? What if, for example, I had friends when I used to write and rap and do all of that, I had friends who love using profanity. They swore a lot. I had friends who actually, didn't value the idea of being with one girlfriend. They would have multiple, and they would actually date rabid daters, if in a manner of speaking. So you understand that it's so important for you to actually be grounded in who you are. And I had to learn this back when I was in high school, and I had to grow with that sense of character that regardless of who I'm hanging out with, I need to understand that even though we share the same love for this particular thing, you might love video games with the same people, but it doesn't mean that you have to adopt their values. And that's the thing that's the message that I want to leave with you today. And it's a thought that I would love for you to let simmer within your head. So what is it that you love? What is it that you love most dearly? And is that thing, has it brought you into a space or into a particular community? How do you maintain your identity and your character even though you're surrounded by these people who differ in your views, who differ in the things that you value and in the things that you hold dear, even though you all share the same love for this one thing? How are you able to maintain your character? That's a question that I want to leave with you today. And I also want to leave you with these words, that it's okay to be different in the midst of a crowd. It's okay to be different in the midst of a community. Doesn't mean that you have to be like them in everything that they do. Now that's something for you to think about. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. How are you maintaining your uniqueness in the midst of a crowd? That's a very interesting discussion that I would love to have with you, and I would love to hear your thoughts. And as always, remember to subscribe and hit the bell so that you get notifications, and I will catch you next week, same time, same place.